Hello and welcome to Balancing the Blood Sugar Roller Coaster. You know, when it comes to balancing biological and chemical stress in the body, the question we want to ask is, what is the smallest, gentlest intervention we can make with the biggest positive impact? The answer is balancing your blood sugar. What is blood sugar and why is it important to keep it balanced? When we say blood sugar, I'm not talking about the white stuff that people put in baked goods. Blood sugar I'm referring to is the concentration of glucose in the blood. Glucose is known as a simple sugar and is the body's preferred main energy source. It's important to keep blood sugar balanced because when there's too much or too little glucose in the blood, it triggers a significant stress response in the body. To understand this process, let's look at how food turns into blood sugar or glucose. The bloodstream is the delivery system that carries glucose to all your cells. That is important. Just because you have glucose in your bloodstream does not mean that all your cells can utilize it. And this is where challenges can arise. Frequent high blood sugar or extended periods of high blood sugar can lead to several health challenges, which can damage your nerves, your blood vessels, and organs and can lead to diabetes. Your ability to utilize blood sugar is determined in large part by the hormone insulin. It's the hormone required for cells to uptake the glucose. Insulin is produced and released in the pancreas. When blood glucose or sugar levels increase, insulin is then released. It then binds to the receptors on a cell, which causes the cell to unlock the channel which the glucose can pass into the cell and eventually be converted into energy. Once the body has utilized all the glucose it needs at that time, any excess will be stored first in the liver and muscles as glycogen, which is a fancy word for stored energy, and this is for short-term energy storage and can easily turn back into glucose when needed. If all the glycogen stores in your muscles and liver are full, then what happens? Well, the body turns the excess glucose into lipids. Lipids are fatty acids. This is long-term energy storage and cannot be converted back into glucose. In order to utilize this storage of energy, the body has to do a process called ketogenesis. When you eat a bagel or any simple carbohydrate, the body breaks it down really fast. It enters the blood sugar in a rush and causes a sudden increase in blood sugar, bringing it to the top of the roller coaster. At the top of this roller coaster, your glucose levels have risen and your brain is alerted to release insulin to help bring the blood sugar back into balance. So, what does your body do? The pancreas secretes a hormone, insulin, to bring your blood sugar back down. And you might think, well, that's a good system, right? And that balances out. Well, here's the problem. Most of us have spent a lifetime eating bagels and crackers and white bread and a lot of processed carbohydrates. This is the stuff that most of us grew up on. So our body has become used to doing its job almost too well. When it sends out insulin, it doesn't just bring your blood sugar back down and stabilizes it. It often sends out too much insulin, and the blood sugar dips way down. So here's a quick breakdown of this. You have a simple carb, your body breaks it down really, really fast. Your blood sugar spikes up, and at the top, your brain is alerted, danger, danger. A message is sent to the pancreas saying, send out insulin now, send it now. The pancreas sends out a whole bunch of insulin and too much blood sugar is taken out of the bloodstream at once. Now your blood sugar is too low. The body crashes, and what does your body signal you to eat again? A craving for sugar, of course, and sometimes caffeine, a little pick-me-up. So you eat sugar and caffeine, and what happens? You spike again, and the whole cycle is repeated. This is one of the reasons why we start eating sugar, and we quite literally cannot stop because your body is trying really hard to find balance. Your sugar craving is the body's way of saying it needs something specific to restore this balance. That can happen over and over throughout the entire day. The blood sugar roller coaster causes enormous biological and chemical stress on the body, initiating and keeping the body in the stress response over and over again. At the top and the bottom of that roller coaster, the body is going emergency stress, emergency. It's like it's on tilt. The body constantly feels like it's in danger. The stress response is constantly activated, and that is systematically destroying good health. How do you know when you're on the roller coaster without physically testing your blood sugar? There are a couple of physical cues that your body gives that can let you know whether you're more on the low or higher end. So blood sugar lows. On a physical level, you may experience brain fog, difficulty concentrating, impatience, nervousness, heart palpitations, excess sweating, lightheadedness, nausea, fatigue, or moodiness. Phew. Blood sugar highs. On a physical level, you may experience a feeling of bouncing off the walls, hyper-anxiousness, increased thirst, or headaches. Let's look at some of the physiological complications of the blood sugar roller coaster. The number one is depression. The Brain Biocenter, nutritional-oriented mental health clinic in London, England, reports that poor blood sugar balance is often the single biggest factor in mood disorders amongst people that seek advice. Since the brain runs on glucose, the form of sugar found in blood, as we said, the more uneven your blood sugar, the more uneven your mood will be. This up and down cycle can really mess with your serotonin levels. Number two is an increased cancer risk. This was a major study done in Europe and found that women with high blood sugar levels were at an increased risk of developing cancer of the pancreas, skin, womb, and urinary tract. High blood sugar was also linked to breast cancer in women under 49. Yikes. Let's look at the third physiological complication of the blood sugar roller coaster. It's weight gain. No surprise there. If brain, muscle, and blood cell glucose receptors are full, glucose begins to be stored as excess fat. Now, glucagon is a hormone. Glucagon is a hormone that is especially important if you're trying to shed excess weight, because the function of a glucagon is to take glucose out of storage to be burned. So if you're constantly producing insulin, you're constantly on the blood sugar roller coaster. Your body can't produce glucagon, which is going to help you, or which is going to help you burn excess glucose stored in your fat cells. So the blood sugar roller coaster is not only causing your body a great deal of stress, but guess what? It's also keeping you overweight, and it's keeping you from ever burning the fat that you could be. Now, let's look at the number one way to balance your blood sugar. Drink more water. This will really go a long way in keeping you from craving sugary foods and increase your energy. You might be wondering, well, how much should I drink? As a general rule, drink half your body weight in ounces. So for example, if you weigh 150 pounds, you should drink 75 ounces of water per day. However, it really depends on how active you are, because if you're really active, then you're going to need to drink more. And caffeine also affects that too. So that might sound like an awful lot of water to be drinking, but if that is, just slowly work on increasing your water intake. Small steps will get you to your goal. So step 2, increase your protein when you eat. It slows down the digestion and therefore slows down the blood sugar roller coaster. The key is to include the right amount of protein and the right source for you, because too much can cause, or too little can cause, sugar cravings. Step 3, include healthy unsaturated fats. This will also slow down your absorption of the sugar, and fats are really, really important. They provide energy, it improves your hair and skin and nails. They will help you to absorb fat-soluble vitamins like vitamin A, E, D, and K. They regulate hormones and maintain a steady metabolism. You want to include the best quality fats though. Olive oil, coconut oil, avocado, flaxseed are all really great. Eating salmon and herring are also going to give you a great source of essential fatty acids. Number 4 on the list is to count chemicals, not calories. Increasing the quality of food you eat is more important. Think of food on a spectrum that goes from, at one end it's organic, locally grown, and on the other end of the spectrum is highly processed foods. You want to stick to foods on the locally grown organic side as often as possible. When buying processed food, look at the ingredients on the labels. Choose the ones with the least number of ingredients and that you're able to actually pronounce. When you focus on an abundance of high quality food, there's naturally less room for junk food. Step 5. Be consistent with meal timing. Well, whenever we eat sporadically or haphazardly, we can create extreme low and low with our blood sugar. Also, depending on how your body reacts to those extremes, it can create a really uncomfortable, disorienting experience. So individuals who experience low blood sugar may also experience brain fog, difficulty concentrating, impatience, nervousness, heart palpitations, excess sweating, lightheadedness, nausea, fatigue, or moodiness. So if you're only eating once a day or a little snack in the morning with a big heavy dinner, it's kind of like setting up your system to be in a reactionary survival mode rather than being able to work on healing, repairing, and thriving. And that's what we want. So on the flip side of that, if you're snacking or eating constantly throughout the day, this can also be taxing on the system and lead to insulin resistance, which means your body is needing higher and higher levels of insulin to bring glucose down to physiological balance. So what we're trying to achieve with meal timing here is to repair insulin sensitivity so that insulin is highly effective in minimal amounts. And to do this, we want to space our meals throughout the day and snack as minimally as possible. Step 6. Sleep. Oh, I love sleep. Sleep is the bomb. Any new parent can attest that sleep is so important. Sleep is crucial. It's a crucial step for achieving optimal health. And this is not just a basic thing. This is for more advanced medical conditions as well. Because when you're sleep deprived, your cortisol rises, which makes the stress response of the blood sugar roller coaster and all its harmful effects like weight gain, insulin resistance, high blood pressure, depression, and on and on and on. Furthermore, lack of sleep increases the hunger hormone called ghrelin. And ghrelin is produced mainly by your stomach, which compels you, it actually compels you to seek out nourishment. It also acts on your brain's pleasure receptors, which is what prompts you to reach out for that second, third, or maybe 10th chocolate chip cookie. So, number 7, the last one is movement. Find an activity that you enjoy and move. Movement helps you to get out of your head and into your body. It also uses up excess sugar in your bloodstream before it can be stored. And there are a lot more benefits that I will go into in tomorrow's video of the day. So there we are, 7 steps to help you get off the blood sugar roller coaster. Now I'm hoping that I can include with this, not in this video, but as a handout, as an extra, I want to give you this meal balancing handout that just shows you, if just at a glance, how you can have what's called the magic plate. Sorry, it was escaping me there for a moment. The magic plate helps you to know how much protein, how much carbohydrates, and how much fat and such that you should have in each meal. So I want to give that to you as well as a bonus. Okay, I hope you really enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.